So the topic today, one of the three topics I came up with, or not, I didn't come up with. Well, the first one was cool, kind of, but I saw this post on MFA, and I guess my little title card, Matt called it out on it a little bit, but like there is I titled it "Why Basic is Not Popular," and that's kind of, it's a very broad term, but that's kind of like what I'm diving into, or this person's post kind of is, that's their thesis of it, and so I'm gonna read the whole thing first before we discuss it, and or before I provide my own thoughts. So this is posted on Male Fashion Advice by, get this, Brojack Korsman.
Oh my
Didn't
god.
notice that part. That's bad. That's
He changes
nice.
everything.
But then when you hear that name, the rest of it sounds like right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right. So
I think I know what you're saying.
here we go. So the title is "Intending No Disrespect. I have strong feelings about most fashion choices in this sub and others." And he added like a serious like tag on it.
Ooh.
So here we go. Here's me being Bojack Horseman. I am a bit confused.
I am confused.
Yeah, I am
came to
confused.
this sub for insight into constructing looks that portray a fashionable, modern, smart dressing man. I work in a high-profile law firm in a major metropolitan city. I'm in my early 30s.
Which one? Name it.
Name it.
I bet it's not that major.
Yeah. I have
It's Minneapolis.
build, and I think I can pull off a variety of looks. All of that being said, I get next to nothing out of this sub. It is not for lack of effort on the part of the members. I can clearly tell how much energy and effort goes into the many thoughtful posts I added here. I do appreciate it, and I will continue to be a part of the sub. But I am facing a problem I have to ask if others have experienced it. The problem is, an overwhelming majority of the looks constructed here would see me viewed as a dork if I were to try them. I don't know any other way to put it than that.
That's so basic, bro.
Some of them, in fact, seem like the person has gone out of their way to assemble the most out of touch, unusual, ill-fitting attire they could find. Clashing colors,
You're
pants
right.
pants without any taper, floods, old faded shirts, hideous patterns. Maybe it's ironic. So, shoes with horrible buckles or lace orientations. I am truly baffled by what I see.
Lace orientations? What does that mean?
There are these Yucatan shoes that have like they're off to the side instead of on the middle of the shoe.
Okay.
Yeah, I am willing to accept that I am the problem. Maybe the current trends have
That's
brought
good.
this. Maybe the current trends have brought back this dork style into the current.
Dork
lexicon.
style.
Dork style.
It's looking like you made all of your selections from
That's
a
what we
big
should have called the
plastic
fucking
bin.
podcast. Dork style.
That's what my
Direction.
Yeah.
If
There you
looking
go.
like you made all of your selections from the big plastic bin at the thrift store is currently fashionable, I will accept it and seek my advice elsewhere. My question is twofold. Is this truly what's happening to men's fashion? Or am I just terribly unlucky with the posts that I review for ideas? Additionally, where
That's
can I
like he's
find
literally
advice?
doing this like, is it me that's out of touch? No, it's
Or
the
just
kids that
you.
are wrong. He's literally doing that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
additionally, where can I find advice on constructing more traditional men's looks? For example, well-fitting, high-quality garments with a trim silhouette. Am I so far out of the loop that fit is everything no longer applies? Is my disdain for frumpy clothes just my problem and fashion has left me behind? Or is this sub a small pocket of high fashionistas who are seeking the looks you might currently see on the runway in Japan, in Milan? I've never been one to follow those kinds of trends. Is
You
there
are-
a sub for a normal dude who likes white sneakers, dark blue jeans, and a well-fitting t-shirt worn with a smart blazer? Hell,
Yeah.
It's fitting that we're seeing gameplay of a guy in a cell because I picture where this guy writing the post is right now in some kind of asylum.
You
He's having
know,
lots of issues coping with this.
you
So,
know,
let me-
it's
let me
it's
first-
funny. Kyoshi says someone just send this dude a 2011 J. Crew catalog, but a while back on AMFA they were posting old J. Crew catalogs. 2011 was better than 2020, man.
Where's the link for this thread? I wanna
Yeah,
see.
I'm gonna put this in
What
the
a
chat.
difference.
Like,
Yeah,
Nine years
posted.
later.
I'm sorry here. So here it is. So let me first posit my response to it, and I think this first comment, which is the most viewed, the most upvoted comment, sums it up. Why would you need a sub for that? Just wear those things. And
Just
I
go
think
to a Proud Boys convention.
like okay, so first off, this this kind of comes into what I turn the topic into, right? It's like, why is being basic not popular? And the thing is, we're kind of in this idea now where like people who are traditional, people who are as Jason would say, not punk rock, would be
Right.
like, wait, is it's real punk rock to not be punk rock, right? Like it's like where's my basic people? But the thing is, they're everywhere, dude. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with being the basic bastard, being the normal guy. There's nothing wrong with wearing white sneakers with dark blue jeans. The thing is, everyone does it now. If you're not,
Right.
then you are willfully ignorant, right? Because if you work in a major metropolitan city, I swear to you that every regular guy is wearing some form of t-shirt, dark blue jeans.
Oh my God.
White
You're
sneakers
right,
could be
Yeah.
white sneakers could be like Adidas, they could be Allbirds, they could be fucking they could be Common Projects, whatever that is. It's out there. It is definitely out there. But when you look at like a fashion, when you look at what's on GQ, they're not going to be talking about what's basic, because there's no news in that, right? There is no novelty in it. It's a reason why, if we look at all of our favorite menswear YouTubers, it's why they have to repackage this as top 10 things to do, how to upgrade your style. And it always comes down to wear white sneakers, cuff your well-fitted,
Yeah.
wear a well-fitted crew neck t-shirt from Essentials. It's always going to be like that. There is, when you go to a fashion subreddit, people,
Fashion has moved on from that now.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
And the people that wear basic stuff, they don't share anything because they really don't care about fashion. The thing is, being basic is not fashion. It is a style, and I guess it is a form of fashion. But the thing is, it's kind of like a thing where it weeds yourself out, right? Like if you're wearing a t-shirt and jeans and you wear that every day and you want to post about it every day, you're going to find that people are not going to respond to you because you're wearing the same fucking thing every day. There's nothing new to it, so the thing, the whole thing about why is being basic not, why aren't people paying more attention to being basic? It's because by design, you're not supposed to notice basic.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
So this was I was initially when
Being
I
basic
saw
is not
your
fashionable. That's the
Right.
rubber. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what there would be to discuss on like the subreddit that he's proposing.
Yeah, your favorite Hanes T-shirt
Yeah,
pack.
or it's like,
Yeah.
this is a good brand for slim fit chinos, and it's like it's
Gotta
just
lick
1,000
boots.
threads
Every
of those.
brand in existence. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
initially when I saw this topic and
Yeah.
it was, the caption was it was basic is not popular. I wasn't sure if you meant popular in the sense that a lot of people do it, which is what you alluded to, or popular in the sense of they do it, but they're not going to become like known for that look, which I think is what you mean, right? They're not gonna,
You can't be known for just wearing a T-shirt and jeans. Like it's just not gonna
Right.
happen. If you
You
want to
usually
be,
have to be a person that's good, and then like, oh, look how
Yeah,
they wear
exactly.
that white
It's
t-shirt.
like an afterthought, right? Like the whole Silicon Valley thing, like that like uniform, like the hoodie, jeans, and like sneakers.
yeah,
People know that, but that's because it's like a meme of itself. It's not like an interesting fashion.
Yeah. This guy wants all of his clothes to be like fucking designed by an AI. All the brands have to be
Yeah.
like direct to consumer. They cut out the middleman. It's smart.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
made in the same factory as Hugo Boss.
It's like the Becky Castleberry
direct
shirt.
Like
to the
a company that used
consumer.
to.
And our shirts are made of plastic, and they don't wrinkle, and they also don't set on fire, and they're definitely breathable.
You could dump an
It's like-
entire bottle of hot sauce on it. No one would be able to tell.
They're
There was-
breathable.
yeah.
Not
breathable.
nine, but four-way stretch.
Yeah, 27-way stretch.
He has a comment. Somebody suggested Style Forum to him, and he goes on to say, "Thank you. I will check out Style Forum as you suggested. I do try to utilize MFA for what I can, but find myself having to wade through more and more bizarre looks without getting that spark of inspiration. Hopefully, someone can chime in on what's going on in this sub. Perhaps the unusual styles here presented are truly a movement sweeping men's fashion. Alternatively, maybe there are just a lot of strange birds in here."
But okay,
What a fucking nerd. This guy's not in his early 30s. What are you talking about? Strange birds? Come on.
Well, it's like, what do people expect? You're going into a
Might be
fashion
English. I mean,
group, and it's
Strange
like you expect not fashion. What do you like? You just expect people to say jeans, boys. Like,
what I don't get here is like, when he's looking at it, He says, I have to wade through bizarre looks without getting spark of inspiration. Why do you need inspiration to know, like, when you know what you
To
want
wear
to
a
wear,
white
you
t-shirt,
want to
yeah.
wear a t-shirt and jeans and white sneakers, why do you need inspiration for it, right?
At that
think
point,
it's
then it's
more
not really
validation.
inspiration, then, right? It's more
I think
like
he's searching for
validation, is what he's
validation,
looking
Yes,
yeah.
it's exactly it. That's exactly it. All this. It's like, hey, why don't I see people dressing what I'm doing? Like it's crazy that he thinks this way, you know. And we see it quite a bit, you know. I mean, I'm sure all of us have met a lot of people who maybe dress like they're not bad dressers. They may not dress, you know, with a specific like aesthetic in mind, but they're like, why do you do it? Like, why can't you do this? Well, that's exactly it. We have a desire that we want to look like, just like how you would want to wear this. Like it's just the same mentality, right? The only difference is that we accept it and we play with it, while, you know, we're not feeling like, oh wait, why I need to be accepted. I need to be accepted for being basic, because no one cares. You know, saying that
Yeah.
you like McDonald's is not a personal thing. Like the office is not a personality trait, right? You know, like that's
It is.
the same.
There's like a tangent related to this. Did you guys watch
Only if you
anything
live
with
in
Dr. Mike
Pennsylvania.
on Wednesday? Or because there was
We
something
did.
with Dr. Mike on the okay. Because I've been watching a couple of his stuff, and even before he did like the fashion video, I was noticing, you know, him wearing the slim shirts with the ties and the tie clip. And I had this really weird thought where just like, you know, I'm okay with what he's wearing, because it's like, if he was my doctor, I wouldn't want him to wear the kind of stuff I wear, this kind of baggy stuff. You know, for what you're doing, I'd prefer you to just be the clean cut, always fine, shoe polished guy, and then
That's
like,
an interesting take, though.
I want my
mean,
doctor
Yeah.
to
you
dress
wanna
like.
wear baggy stuff?
I want my doctor to dress like Chris is humble.
yeah, that'd be good. Oh my god.
Making
And
house
I-
calls.
Yeah.
The sad part with this guy is, like, you know, like nothing is gonna satisfy him, right?
Yeah.
Like streetwear is not gonna, like, definitely not. Workwear might be too much, and then classic menswear is like, well, I don't want to be dressed up all the time. Like, dude, nothing is gonna make you happy. Just accept that you're fucking basic. I mean, and
Yeah.
there's like a wiki on the sidebar for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, and there's some. I think when this was posted, like the top uploaded like inspiration album was literally about chino shorts, and I've worn chino shorts. You know, hey, shout out the upcoming pod episode on shorts. But like, you know, like all the pictures in that are definitely for like the basic basket. You know, like Breton striped shirt with chino shorts, untucked OCBD with shorts. You know, it's like that's basically it. You know, there wasn't any fucking crazy stuff like me with the schoolboy outfit, right? So
Yeah.
It's
Another
just-
thing I'd like to point out about this guy, though,
Go
is he
ahead.
clearly doesn't understand the cyclical nature of fashion, because he keeps talking about dork style and raiding the plastic bins at Value Village and that sort of thing. But fashion comes back, and that's how it works. It's, I don't understand what this aversion is to looking old. What's old is new again. I mean,
Yeah.
any
Yeah,
comment?
there was a response to him that was pretty good on basically this person was saying how specifically in MFA they try to cater to both, you know, quote unquote regular style and what's out there, right? And they go on to say, like, the subreddit that the original, you know, the OP wants would have like 5 pinned posts and that would be it. So, you know, it's like they
Well, like,
know
I
what they
wanna-
want, but they don't want to say it.
Right. And I also want to point out, like, I can't stand the words classic menswear.
yeah.
I can't fucking stand
You-
it because it's
we-
like
I had this
it's
whole
not a
thing-
real. That's not real because classic menswear that like you think of the Alpha M thinks is like from like 1990, but it's like
Yeah.
at 1990 classic menswear was 1970. So it's like it doesn't. It's such a nonsensical term because it
No,
literally
like-
means nothing. It's wholly based off of what year you're in and what asshole you decided to watch on YouTube.
And if it did mean something, it lost all meaning once everyone started using it. But I had a
Yeah.
huge thing with, like, I was like, oh, I don't even remember the other one. It was fashion versus something. I don't even remember style. I think that's what it was. But I was just like, I'm like grown to accept just being into fashion as opposed to classic menswear. You know, it's just like it doesn't have all that baggage, that connotation. It's less stuffy. I feel like just saying I'm into fashion because
And the word classic has a bit of a tinge of superiority to it as well, right?
Yeah, for
Classic,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dropping the
That's not,
classic.
yeah.
I'm into menswear. It's like, okay, you know.
I hate
I'm
the
talking
term
little bit
dapper.
underwear.
I'm
You're
into
not.
banging bitches.
We all
Fuck
hate
dapper.
the word
I'm
dapper,
just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the word dapper.
You
Yeah.
know, so to go off of what Jason was saying about classic menswear, you know, in our Discord, which again, if you are a Patreon, you get to be in our exclusive Discord where we talk about stuff like this ahead of time, and also just just whenever topics arise. But you know, we were talking about like the whole idea of being timeless, right?
Hmm.
And being timeless is like like there's nothing wrong with trying to be like a basic, maybe like a safe outfit. But it's this idea that being safe is superior to anything that has a defined aesthetic or anything that's more out there. I think those they if anything they're equal, right? It depends on your personality. Some people like to stand out, some people like to experiment, some people do not, and that is fine.
Yeah.
But putting one above the other is always going to be bad, especially when it comes to being basic, right? Or being trying to be timeless, because that literally doesn't work. You cannot wear an OCBD and chinos and desert boots in 1930 because OCBDs weren't that common. Chinos were military wear, and the desert boots were like fucking. That was also military wear. Like you would not see that. You know, just like in
Yeah.
the maybe you'd see that a little bit more. But like the early like the late 2000s or early 2000s, maybe that also would be work because it's like a post 90s kind of thing that wasn't on trend back then. You know, it's still gonna be weird when you look at everything else. And assuming that people are gonna notice for you that you're looking good, it's not gonna happen. Like I'm sure in the 90s, unless you're wearing like a big baggy shirt with fucking Nikes and like light wash jeans, no one would fucking pay attention to you, right? I mean, you could look at like Seinfeld, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff there, and that's a pretty good example. Or even Friends, right? None of them were classic in clothing. Maybe Ross dressed up, but they still had this kind of like in the moment time period to them.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all of the moment.
We've talked in the past about replacing modern versions of things with slightly better, like military surplus. So it's like if people want to be like it's to be basic in itself. I think it's possible if you have like a voice behind it or like a certain style, and then within that sub style, like to be like the more basic styles, like again replace modern Gap chinos with some World War II ones, and then you do a little bit better. You're doing it a little bit better, like than just a modern short OCBD collar,
Right.
So there's a way to do it right, again, but nothing to brag about. Like you're not saying this is better than you. It's never working out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like dressing for the moment is very punk rock.
Jason is if you don't know this, Jason rules what is punk rock, what is not punk rock. We need him as the arbiter.
It is my decision.
We're gonna get him a button.
Yep.
In terms of being basic, I think our good pal Young Chomsky, again, shout out upcoming episode. He said something about like there's nothing wrong with being basic, but don't get mad when no one notices that you're trying to fit in. Like that's like fine.
Yeah,
Exactly
right.
it, right? Like there's nothing wrong with wearing a t-shirt and jeans, but if like no one's gonna who's gonna give you a fucking medal for doing that?
Yeah.
Right. No one's gonna say, "Wow, you're so stylish," or "You're so fashionable," when you're wearing, a pack of Hanes t-shirts. Like,
and again, there's also the catch where most people won't say anything no matter what you wear. So that's always good to remember sometimes.
Well, that doesn't happen for me because I'm so good looking.
Yeah, so it doesn't apply to you.
It doesn't apply to me. Yeah.
But for the rest of us, usually
I understand. I understand the struggle.
You come down to our level.
Posting
I wasn't always this punk rock.
Minds, right?
Yeah, you can remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a comment here that I think is kind of related to this. So this is from Slow Dance on the Inside. It's a reply to another reply, but he says, I think that the problem with MFA is that it tries to cover the entire spectrum of menswear and fashion, and some people would benefit from dedicated style subs, or even one sub for fashion and one sub for established styles. A lot of guys here get mixed trying to assess styles versus the massive amount of experimental stuff floating through here. And longtime members have a grasp on style, are quick to downvote any hint for the need for the sub to focus on the already established styles. This is male fashion advice, so it's fair to say anything that's fashion related flies, but trying to be a jack of all trades is essentially mastering nothing in the process. Maybe it's time for a sub to focus on the popular styles and keep MFA for actual fashion and what's on trend. But here is my issue here. All these weird things are what's on trend. Like if you think about what's going on, and again we're gonna get into our favorite trends and things we're not into in a second, but we're looking at like wide fit, right? You look at what the fucking like Gen Z kids, the Zoomers, whatever, all the kids on TikTok, what are they wearing? They're wearing fucking high-waisted trousers, wide legs with like fucking like like Converse or like some sort of shoes, like and like a baggy top, right? Yeah, like this idea that if you want to look at what's truly on trend, that's what's fucking on trend. You know?
Yeah, it's not what the millennials are doing.
Yeah. And when
You
you
ran everything into the ground.
yeah, when you see all the fashionable people who are taking these things, they are taking cues from what's currently on trend. You know, maybe they're going to reinterpret it a different way. Maybe there's like an Americana spin on it. Maybe there's like a Japanese. Maybe there's an androgynous spin on it, right? But it's an idea that, you know, it's not, oh, that's popular in high fashion, but what's really going on with regular people? Look at Uniqlo has wide leg trousers, dude. Look at what the teenagers are wearing to the fucking mall, and those are gonna be like when we were kids, right? Or when we were like teenagers or whatever. Yeah, slim fit was a thing, right? But you look at now, all the young people are wearing wide leg stuff, and all the fashion people are wearing wide leg stuff. So is it the children?
All those
or is it
pesky
you?
young.
Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
you, dude. You're
Yeah.
the one who's not keeping
My
up.
neighbor's doing some, like, setting off something in there
Oh no.
in the driveway.
Uh-oh.
Oh yes.
Good
Is it
lord.
alive?
All I hear outside
boy.
is just. It sounds like I'm in a war zone.
Yeah, it's like the fucking
Speaking
Battle
of-
of Berlin over here, man.
The Battle of Berlin.
Yeah.
Right.
Battle Royale.
So I always think that that's fucking weird. That, you know, like, and to go back to the main post, he goes like, "What happened to traditional men's looks? Where's the slim fit, dude? Traditional.
What is a
it's not
traditional
gonna be
men's
slim.
look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off,
That's what I'm talking
there is
about.
no
Like, it's
traditional, right? But there's
not real.
This
saying
is
that and equating it to slim fit. That's already a misnomer,
this.
right?
It's
That's-
so funny.
that's
It's
how it
like
works.
someone. It's like some dude who's like in his early 30s in like 2009. It's like, what the heck? Everyone's wearing girl pants now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the
I
heck?
can't understand men's
much.
capris.
Yeah, it's like the same.
Yeah.
iPads?
You're talking about me.
Uh,
I was
Well,
wearing like
in-
women's skinny jeans in 2009.
I wore it in high school, and they did not like me. like freshman year.
Mm.
hmm
Well,
It's oh my god.
cuffing your pants, right?
Yeah.
Cuff my pants and cuffing your bitch.
Nice.
We say that.
Hey, you sound like what I do on a weekend, baby.
Ew.
Hey.
Welcome back to Ethan's dating corner. No, but so if we
Can
keep
you use the urinals in this game?
No, I am cleaning them though.
Can you take out your dog?
Oh wait, this guy can use the urinal.
Let's see
Take
that
off your
moth in your
pants.
I
peen.
don't think we can. I don't think we can see pee on it.
Can you punch the
No
cop?
pee-pee?
while you,
Can you grab it?
That's
Just
the
grab
pee-pee
his
cam.
dick.
It's not letting me
Grab it.
move right now.
Just knock him out while he's taking a piss.
So
Take it to piss.
Knock the piss out of him.
And now I'm cleaning that piss right off that turlet.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 And he's watching it.
Palco Man says some people associate fit is king to having everything is slim fit, no break, which it isn't. Yeah, fit. The thing is, fit at a certain point becomes subjective, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's also like one of the first articles I ever wrote was like, vintage pants are like wide legged but not baggy. Because to me, baggy is like when they're baggy and they're like pooling everywhere. But when you look at actual
Great
tail,
definition.
they're straight leg. I mean,
That
there
is
might
great.
be like really wide, but they're not like pooling anywhere. They're neat still, right?
Yeah, it's got clean
that's-
lines.
It's
Like
clear
the
about
bag
straight
is,
lines,
yeah.
you know. So people have the weirdest ideas, you know, about like what is true good fit, because you can't say traditional, you can't say any of that shit. That doesn't really work.
I just, it's weird that we've like adopted a slim fit as a general look, like a slim lapel. Like it works for some people.
Well,
like
no, it's just
me, I guess.
it's just been in style long enough that now that's the standard, and so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means it's time to
during
go
the
away.
height of the internet, you
Yeah.
know, like people. One of our first ever streams was when we were talking about what women like based on a thread on one of the
What women like,
Oh my god, that was
what
wonderful.
women want.
what women
and
need.
and you know, all of it was like, I want a guy wearing a shirt with sleeves rolled up in slim pants.
It was, oh yeah, had to be sleeves were rolled up.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Pants sleeves.
We don't
Here's
fuck
another
with that
comment.
long sleeve shit.
No.
Oh, I'm getting shot at.
Here's another comment on Brojack Korsman. He says, I've never felt like I wanted my clothes to be interesting or fun. I'd rather people have the takeaway that I'm a sharp dresser, if that makes any sense. I don't know many of the rules, and I certainly don't try to break them. So here is my issue here is, I don't want to be interesting, but I want people to look at me. What? Like, you can't. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
saying?
they're mutually exclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. You know, I commented, I'm curious, why do you think that clothes being fun and interesting and being a sharp dresser can't go hand in hand? but it was already too late until I saw the link to the chat, so I can't. He never responded, or maybe he just turned off all of his notifications because, you know,
He's being a stupid bitch.
alive, right? But again, like, you know, it just is weird. Like, you know, if we want to call it a male mentality, right? It's like there's a lot of analogies to this, like, you know, like dating or whatever. We're like, hey, I'm a nice guy. Why am I not getting some puss right now?
Oh my god, love that.
You know,
I love that.
the idea that because I'm making any kind of effort, or because I'm being normal, people should.
I deserve a fucking medal. Yeah,
it's absolutely insane, right?
It's like you're entitled to puss because you said hello.
Yeah, you know, or like just like.
Can I say that on the stream? Is that going to be an issue?
Oh,
I think
wait,
that's-
hang on.
that's fine.
Papa's gonna need to leave.
To pop off.
Papa's
We've
gonna
got a
need to
brand
pop
new
off
snag.
for a little bit.
Pop-
Pop off, Papa.
I like MJ clipped Coffee OB.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only so, you know, like it's a I'm trying to scroll through here again, you know, what's happening here. So here's another thing. Mainly I come to MFA looking for inspiration on different articles of clothing within the larger framework of a smart, modern, and well-fitting wardrobe. I don't fault anyone for their fashion choices, but I don't find much here that falls within those arbitrary categories that are made up in my mind. And so again, like being basic is over. Like that, when I say over, I mean that when you have found the pieces that are required for it, you don't need to add to it because by design it's being basic. Why do you need to add to something being basic, right? When something is fucking finished, you don't add to it, right? That's not the
Right.
case.
You know, you can
with
add a great basic look can be added to with one of those bracelets that has beads on it. You know, those like anal bead
A
bracelets.
hookah shell necklace. Yeah.
A puka shell necklace is always a good addition to any man's basic wardrobe.
We got to go back to that.
That's
But,
yeah.
you know, again, here it doesn't make it like I want to, like, he clearly knows what he's looking for, but he's like, he just doesn't want to admit that he's. But these people have to realize that being timeless and being basic is limited, and people aren't like. The inspiration albums for these could be the same from 2010 to be the same what they are now, right? If we're talking about that particular.
Like, why be timeless when you can just be like whatever you fucking want?
There is
Yeah.
no timeless though. That's the
Right.
listener
I think that's what we came to. The
There's a
conclusion.
way. There's a way to be. There's a way to be not as untimely in various eras.
Like,
Kiyoshi
It's a
asks,
bit of a road fashion, but
what is the
There's no
basic
time.
menswear equivalent of Live, Laugh, Love and the pumpkin spice latte? I would say light blue OCBD with a modern short collar, with modern or short rise chinos with desert boot, or like some white Converse. And I think that'll do it.
Anything worn by the Alpha M guys, anything.
Yeah, anything at all.
I mean, they don't
By the
even
way,
wear the
do you
thing
know
Alpha M
how
wears,
Aaron
so-
Marino like
Right.
has the model, the like skinny model? Do you think it's just because like I'm too buff? They have to. My demographic are just skinny white guys, so I'm gonna make the model look like them.
Yeah,
I'm so ripped.
How tall is he?
Yeah. He's I don't know. He's doing well.
Not tall.
You know, there's this.
Oh,
kind of-
Alpha M is short, bro.
How tall is he?
Ooh, for sure.
Yeah, Alpha M is short, but
He's
Aaron
5'3".
Marino, I think he's
He's
like
what?
a built military
He's
guy.
5'3",
What? 5'3"?
5'6".
5'6". Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
taller than him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what's
think we're
up?
all taller than him.
He's
Oh
a-
my
Yeah,
god.
taller than this guy.
He's a short king. He's a short king.
What I'm looking at here, when as I'm again going through the comments here, he always says whenever someone responds with like an insightful comment, he goes, "This is a very very great. I clearly have a lot to learn. Thank you." And see, there is the issue. It is the idea that you think you have reached fashion nirvana with slim fit, and you're wrong, bro. Like you're not. You always have a lot to learn. I mean, fashion. No one's ever gonna be done. The only thing.
Well, I
that
don't know
you
if he thinks he's reached fashion nirvana, but he clearly
in the
thinks
wise
fashion
words of the
nirvana
internet.
is slim fit. That's his problem. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know about the history. I was talking about cycles earlier and his lack of knowledge about the cyclical nature of fashion. He just doesn't know. It seems to him that fashion started with slim fit and
And they don't want
it's
to
moving away. So what the fuck? That
Right.
seems like where he is to me at this point.
Yeah. I forgot what there was another thing I was gonna say. But it's just weird idea that these guys. I think it's always gonna be like I'm better than other people mentality, right? Like, because to him, he thinks that everyone else is fucking like wearing Men's Warehouse stuff, right? Like the bad fashion that he's trying to be better than, right? And then there's the other side, which is like the high fashion hipster, whatever you want to call it, that is like, you know, intentionally doing things. But again, you are completely short-sighted when you assume that everyone else out there is dressing bad, because when you look at fucking what's in H&M, what regular people are wearing, it is exactly what you are wearing, dude. They're like Alpha M and Aaron Marino, well, the same person, sorry, but like Real and Griswold, all those things, they don't have 4 million like followers, you know, for no reason. It's all those guys all dressed like that. They all wear the fucking Henleys and the fucking jeans and like the white sneakers, or like fucking, you know, like Allbirds, whatever you want to call them. Like when you literally look, especially if you say that you are in a metropolitan hub, right? People will
Which
dress,
means he's not by saying that.
yeah, you know, what is he like?
Yeah,
Fucking like Milwaukee or something? Like, come on.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Hey,
I'm
now.
Milwaukee
That,
style.
sorry, that's
all
the first thing I
all
thought of.
chain.
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I'll take that as a compliment.
This is the roast Milwaukee channel.
But I'm just saying, like, when you look at, you know, like you have,
Roast
like, you
Midwest.
literally can't be, you literally have to be extremely like blind to see like the prevalence of basic fashion. I mean, I think, you know, a lot of people like to, you know, rally against it, but I think that it's good at least people are wearing t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers instead of like, you know, like fucking those flannel, like, or those plaid shirts with fucking plaid shorts and flip-flops, right? Because
Gross.
I see so much less of that. I mean, MJ and I are in a Asian American group. We keep shouting it out, that we hang out with, and you know, there's a lot of like regular guys in there, right? Like, you know, like nerd guys who don't care about fashion. But the thing is, all of them look pretty good. They're not. None of them look like terrible, you know. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what the real thing is, right? People today look better, or at least the way that everything fits look better than, like, say, the 90s or something, right? But the thing is, you have to realize that is the bare minimum, and there is way more to fashion than just that. You don't have to, but recognizing that, having self-awareness, again, you're going back to context and everything. You can't look at it as if you are the king of fashion because you for some reason, whatever your choices are, everyone else should do. I don't, you know, as much as I like to be an arbiter of menswear, like I clearly know, like, there's way more out there. There's way more better dressed people than me, and that wearing a suit and a Spirit Point collar is not the end all thing. I mean, all of us here, you know, wear the variety of different collars, variety of different cuts of suits, variety of different patterns. You know, it's always going to be different, right?
Wait. You're talking about me,
Yes.
right? Well, okay, I'll roll with that, but all the jacks have got
I'll
Spin McKay
allow
on. But yeah,
Well,
because I just think about how all the jackets I have from Spin McKay are the same cut. So I do a, you
Well,
know,
that's
uniform
not what
work.
I mean. You know what I mean? I think like a lot of us have like specific different design tastes, right? You know, like all of us have different width of pants, literally, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
like that's something like, you know, there is no catch-all term. I mean, even like I think Kiyoshi is a really great dresser, and he has a different fit of suit than I do. I don't think that makes him or I better than the other, right? That's
Yeah,
just
that's
something
right.
that happened. So,
Hmm.
I'm trying to see what else is there in here. I wish there was a sub for those smart semi-casual looks because they are so versatile and timeless. God, like, dude,
I'm trying to
timeless, dude,
build on a
like,
point here. I think the lack of appeal in basic fashion is it seems too planned, if that makes any sense. Like it was deliberately planned to be as inoffensive as possible and as
Yeah.
acceptable as possible to as many people as possible. And in doing so, you're a jack of all trades, master of none. You just
Yeah.
you're more
Right.
boring than the guy who doesn't care about fashion but still dresses for himself because he doesn't care, and that inevitably just happens. That guy's dressed better than you because you made a concerted effort to be plain. So why you so how can you complain about getting shit from fashion
That's-
people?
it's crazy, you know. And I guess, you know, not many people. I mean, again, we're talking to the preachers of the choir here, but hopefully when we clip this entire segment, and put it on YouTube, maybe some people will listen and gather something from it. You know, that's my hope.
Yeah.
For that
If we learned one thing from the Liverano documentary, it's that the customer is never right.
Okay, I am back. It
Spencer's
took,
back.
Hey,
What a
Spencer's
good
back.
pause
it
speed
went,
for
it
Bob
was,
Work
it
too.
was a good call. So,
Yay!
yeah.
You have a hole.
Yeah.
Here's a great comment. So in response to is there a sub for a normal dude that likes white sneaks, dark blue jeans, and a well-fitting T-shirt with a smart blazer? The guy said, yeah, it's called
Only
the
if you're
middle
a
of the
power
road.
bottom.
It's called the what?
It's called the middle of the road. They wear white shirts and khaki chinos, listen to Coldplay, Ed Sheeran, and watch Friends reruns.
That's a lot of damage.
That is so good. That is so
Flex,
you know,
flex tape can't fix
again,
that.
it's like, you know, it's like the whole like Tinder shit. Like, hey, I love eating pizza and watching The Office.
Going on adventures.
My hobbies are movies and
Fuck
TV.
the fuck out of here, dude. You know. And the thing is, the good thing is that we you know, based on what I've seen on like TikTok and like all the stuff, is that, like, you know, the younger generation is very conscious of being basic, you know, and that's why I guess the alternative now is everyone that's, you know, that's young is kind of alternative, very indie, punk rock, whatever,
Yeah.
which maybe in a few years is going to be a meme in itself, right?
Well, it's kind of
But
funny
it's a bit of
because
a
it's like,
tangent
you
now.
know, you think about like a couple years ago, the fucking like, you know, avocado toast thing was like, that was like very hip, but now that's a very kind of like out of touch. Like the millennials are like stereotyped as like olds now by the Zoomers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
starting.
Exactly. You know, and not seeing that is the stupidest thing you
Mhm.
could ever see, dude. You know, like thinking that you are special, like, dude, everyone thought, like, I'm in the 20s, you're like, wait, why is everyone wearing fucking wide leg pants, bro? Like that literally is a thing, right? You know, like in the 70s, like why are you wearing a sack jacket? It's all about fucking wearing, you know, it's all like all the kids are wearing like pagoda shoulders and like high vent shit, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always gonna be like that, and the only thing that you can do is embrace it or double down on it and just kind of be self-aware about it. Like there's nothing wrong, again, like, you know, all of us wear this kind of stuff, and I'm sure that in a couple of years, you know, what we're wearing is not going to be what's cool, but you know, the hope is that we like our clothes enough that we don't care what other people think. We're not going to put other people down for not following us. It's that we love fashion so much that we have finally found what makes us happy, not
We're
fashion
willing to
nirvana,
die for
our
it.
own personal nirvana, right? So it's like, you know, that's kind of what that is.
Because I think there's some like people who don't know much about clothes, and then they go on Reddit or watch the YouTube Menswear, and then they figure out what fit is, and it happens to be with these basic items. So they treat it as king. It's like, okay, you can only wear this, and there are these other people who aren't wearing this, and why aren't you wearing this? You must not get it. Why don't you get it? And so
Why
they
don't
equate
you
it
get
with
it?
that. So there might be some issues there as well.
It's
Yeah,
the standard
there's
thing that
all that
happens when you get into anything
superiority.
new, which is when you get into something new, you have to build, you're trying to build up information, and you can like take notes, you codify it, and you end up sounding like a rule book.
Yeah.
And
Is there like a sandwich I
It's
could
good.
walk over and replenish my health? I need that.
Just bite his ear.
Oh,
right.
well, guess we'll just restart the mission.
And being a rule book is good, but the sooner you can break out from it, the better. In anything, the true masters in whatever field you're talking about, they don't follow the rules. They are aware of the rules,
yeah.
they know about it, but they build their
Yeah,
own
they're
thing.
very punk rock. If you
you get the stamp of approval. No, you said the big saying is learn the rules, then break them. I mean, do we technically agree with this? Like,
I just
or
say
do you-
don't learn the rules,
Huh.
because who cares?
I can't
Right.
read.
I can't
I can't read the rules. I can't even do that. Yeah,
I don't know. I think
don't
you
know.
should have.
can't
I think
speak
you
on
should
it.
have an understanding of, you know, the basics and everything before you. I think that's important if you wanna kind of be a
know
little
the
bit more out there
basics,
and
just don't
experiment.
do the basics.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd say to learn the rules,
started.
but get rid of them as soon as you possibly can.
Mm.
Don't pigeonhole yourself into.
Don't
Oh,
learn to
I
love
need to,
them.
I need to show this much cuff. This is the right break trousers. This is the right rise. I want my
Yeah.
sleeves a quarter of an inch shorter because, you know, fuck that shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're always gonna
Fuck
learn.
that.
You're
Taylors
gonna
have
come
straight
to
up told me that when
opinion.
someone comes in and asks them to get like a sleeve short by like an eighth of an inch, they don't give, some of them just don't give a shit. They just give it back.
Yeah.
Like, you're just being a cunt.
Yeah.
You're always gonna come in from some point of view. Like some people, oh, I need to dress better. Then you go to the YouTubers. I was just like, I love vests, and I was watching a Jones
Oh, no.
vest video, and then I got into more of them. So, and then you learn about the basics. So there's always a get. There's always an entry point, and then you just kind of figure it out, and then